Welcome to H2K Infosys. H2K Infosys is a e-verify business based in Atlanta, Georgia, United States. We provide 100% job-oriented, instructor-led, face-to-face, true live online software training programs. It also includes access to cloud test lab with software tools. We provide live project for you to work on. We also provide assistance with mock interviews, resume preparation and review, and job placement assistance. H2K Infosys is trusted by so many students across the world. H2K Infosys provides world-class services in IT training with real-time project work for corporates and individuals, special IT training for MS students in the United States, software design, development, QA manual and automation, performance testing and maintenance, IT staff augmentation, job placement assistance, and tech support.
Okay. It gets persisted only when we save it to the session, right?
Yeah.
See, we have an object that we created. We have created a status object. What is it? What is the status object? State. I mean, in other words, what is the state of the status object? Is it transient, persisted, or detached? First, folks, do you people understand the three states or different objects, like a transient object? I mean, I don't know why, but the usual notation, like, different objects in Hibernate. But it makes more sense to call it as a state. Let's say we have three states: transient, persisted, and detached. Right? So, transient is just we have an object, we created an object, but we haven't associated it with a session. How do we associate the new object with a session? By saying session.save. Right?
Yeah.
You understand it?
Yeah. Yeah, I got that. Means why were we getting that error that did you uncomment something, or means something has changed? Because earlier on the same lines of code we were getting the error.
Exactly. So, that is what I'm going to show you. When I say cascade is equal to all, right? It means, folks, this is damn important, and trust me, many people who work with Hibernate for quite some time also, they don't have the real sense of these attributes. When I say cascade is equal to all, I'm saying when I say save of parent, save the child also, right? But previously, this was not there. I'm not saving cascade is equal to all, which means I'm not saying when you save the parent, when you save the appointment, save the status also. I'm not saying it. That is the reason when I say, when I'm creating an appointment with new state, it is giving me error because the Hibernate doesn't save the state when I'm saving the appointment. Why? Because I'm not saying that cascade level. This cascade level here means there is no kind of an association to save the child when we save the parent. That's why it gives us error. Because we have a transient object state, which we are not saving it. Where are we saving the status? This object that is created on this line, where are we saving it? We are not saving it. I mean, Hibernate is not saving it because there is no session.save of status and there is no cascade mentioned here. When there is no cascade, when we insert the appointment, the status doesn't get inserted. That is why it is giving us error. Because there is a transient object which is not saved. Right, folks? And if you observe this, right, there is only one insert that is getting executed here. Right? Insert into appointment only. Right? Folks, do you understand this? There is only one insert. Because when I say save of appointment, it is inserting only into the appointment table. It's not inserting into the status because there is no cascade that I have mentioned. But if I say cascade is equal to all, which means, what did I do? which means I'm saying here, folks, see, there is only one insert query that is very. We're not doing the other insert. The Hibernate is not doing the other insert into the same. But when I say cascade is equal to all, when a parent is inserted, the child also gets inserted. When it says save of appointment, it saves the childs associated with it also. What are the childs that are associated with it? The status object. It inserts the status also. And if you see here, there are two insert statements that got executed, right? One into status and one into appointment. You understood this?
So if we save a status by ourselves.
That works. You can do that.
Okay, then instead of mentioning cascade over there, you can save the status first.
Yes, but ideally when there is a kind of relationship between them, we don't want to do multiple saves. That's why, that's why we associated it wherein the save happens implicitly. You understand?
Okay.
That's actually we determine how the objects are associated, how they are related actually. Does a state can come automatically for an employee? Usually not, right? There are some set of status in this scenario. The state doesn't get, so we don't specify a cascade equals to all, right? But when you create an employee, right, we create multiple appointments for him. So when you save this employee, right, we want to save all the appointments also. That's why we say cascade is equal to all over there. So it's actually dependent on how the entities are related. That makes us different. So folks, you understand the difference of specifying the cascade is equal to all over here, right?
And how
actually, that is the reason I wanted you people to show the error so that you understand it better. That's why I have deleted that and yeah. Someone is saying something?
Yeah. So how does can you go back to appointment.hbm file? So I'm still a bit confused. Like, how is the status ID in both appointment table and the status table joined? Like, how is it known that they are like? They hold a foreign key relationship in this code.
Status ID. The primary key of this table is associated with status ID of this association. The column status ID is the key.
Status ID is the key in appointment table, right?
Status ID is the column in appointment table, yes.
So status ID is the primary key in status table.
No. See, ID is, status ID is the column that we are mapping to the specific class.
Okay.
Not primary or foreign key.
Sorry?
So status ID is not primary or foreign key here. It's totally different.
ID, it's associated. It's a foreign key from the status table. The status ID in appointments is in the appointment we have a status ID. It is referenced from the status table.
Do you have a schematic diagram of this?
Folks, see the relationship is, and you have an employee. An employee has many appointments, and you have different kind of statuses for an appointment. What is so confusing? What is the thing that is confusing you people?
So is it somehow relating to employee table? The status?
Status is not directly related to employee table. It is related to appointment table.
So is there is a relation between employee and appointment table and the status and appointment?
Yes, employee and appointment tables are related. An employee has multiple appointments. So in the appointment table, we store the employee ID, wherein we can insert multiple appointments for a specific employee. Let's say I have an employee with ID 3. For that employee, I can insert many appointments.
And the status ID is coming from
Status ID is coming from the status table.
Okay. And that's a foreign key in.
And inactive. Yes. In the appointment table, we are referencing the status ID to say a specific appointment is active or inactive. We have the status ID.
Okay. So employee ID and status ID is foreign keys in appointment table.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
Do you even have any doubts on this?
Neha, did you create this database? Are you just working on the appointment and all these tables?
Yes, these tables I have created this one. The training database I have created.
Okay.
The database training, the rest of the databases are by default.
Can I just have a look at the schematic diagram of this?
Some option. I'm not exactly sure where to go for the schema diagram inside this ID.
Okay, no problem.
Can you just describe the table, right? So EBSC and table name will show the schema of the table.
Sorry?
You can just describe the table, right? It will show.
No, you are anyway seeing the table. You understand? When I describe the table also, I'm going to get the same thing of it, right? No, I'm saying a diagrammatic wherein, sorry?
Yeah, you can show it some other time if you can just find it sometimes, maybe next class.
No, that's fine. Do you understand the associations between these tables? That's what I'm asking.
Yes.
Anyone has any doubts on the associations? Because I'm just reiterating because it's not that I'm frustrated. I'm sure you won't be able to understand this code without that. That is the reason I'm asking you folks. You understand how these three tables are related? You have an employee table wherein we have an employee ID, first name, last name, and his salary. Okay? For an employee, we can create multiple appointments. So, we are referencing the employee ID in the appointment table. And an appointment can be in a different state. An appointment can be active or inactive. So we are referencing the status ID here from the status table. You understand this? Folks, any doubts on this one to many and many to one mapping? Folks, any doubts on this?
No doubt.
Yeah, Neha, can you go over when inverse is true and when inverse is false? Those two.
Mm-hmm. So when we, let's say here, right? Okay, here I'm setting an inverse is equal to true, right? Let's say I'm setting some employees. Folks, when if I update an employee here, right? Does it get updated from elsewhere? I mean, in the database. Folks, if I want to get an employee, could you please mute your microphone? Okay. So So if you want to get an employee with a specific ID, so what is the query that I have to write here? If I want to get an employee with a specific employee ID, what is the query that I have to write here?
Where ID equal to some number.
I'm operating it on the Java level, right? How many objects will I be getting here?
Two appointments, I guess. Oh, the list should have only one.
Okay, let's say I'm saying folks, what will be my output after the execution of this? And one more thing, can I modify something in employee? Let's say, I'm saying where ID is equal to 3, right? So, folks, did you try doing the update? What I gave you assignment? Did you do that? Okay. So folks, what am I trying to achieve this with this program? What am I trying to achieve with this program?
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to set each of employees' first name as one. Update. I'm trying to set each assignment description testing of each employee.
Okay. So what happens when I run this? Okay. So ideally, what am I trying to do is I'm trying to update the employee, isn't it? I'm trying to update the employee, right? Already there is an object. When I say this to Manoj, instantly I should be performing an update query, right?
No, with the given identity.
So here it is. Let's close. Okay. First, it is executing all this data, and an appointment is associated with a specific state, and we have inserted an appointment with ID is equal to 9, right? If you say select star from appointment, we have inserted an appointment with status ID 9, and that specific status doesn't exist in the database. That is the reason we are getting error, right? Folks, are you with me?
Yeah, but it's difficult to catch actually.
it doesn't exist in database means in a status one? Sorry.
Yes, because there was no foreign key, which when we were like trying to understand the cascade, we have inserted with with an ID that we have set it. It's like an insert that has happened with ID 9. But we were not able to insert the status in the table, insert in the status table, right?
So you see, you say create. Okay, you're selecting employee with ID is equal to 3. So
yes. That employee has a specific appointment, right? And the appointment state, right? It is not able to get the appointment state. Even this. See, basically it is trying to associate, the data with a different table in which that doesn't exist, right? Here, when I'm inserting an appointment, I have a status that I'm trying to associate with it, and the status is not present in that specific status ID is not present in the database, and that is the reason I'm getting this error. You understand that? Because here in the status table, I don't have.
So you don't have 9 over there, right?
Yes, exactly.
It's a constraint due to foreign.
I have ran out into this situation because I haven't created foreign key constraints properly. This is what I was explaining, right?
Okay.
See, actually, when we fetch the appointment, it is trying to fetch the status for it, right? And the status doesn't exist. That's why it's giving error. Let's say, I have like creating some appointment saying cascade is equal to all. When I do that, it inserts the status also into the database. Let's say I have created a new status because it creates now because I have said cascade is equal to all.
Description column is too long.
Too long. So now when I say cascade is equal to all, it inserts into the status table also. It executes. There is an insert in it, and there is an appointment, right? So now, as for the auto increment, right? I think it's 9. So we have a status. It's 9, right? So and the same thing, whatever I did execute here, right? So the same thing when I try to execute here now, it works. Why does it work? Because now I have the proper data for all the appointments that are present for this guy, right? Folks, you understood there was an appointment previously with status ID as 9, and when you try to associate the many-to-one mapping with the status table, there is no status with ID as 9 in the status table. Folks, you understand this?
So how do you insert the 9 in that one? Is it auto incremented or what? You inserted something before executing this one, right?
I executed the appointment and I said cascade is equal to all, and that is the reason status also got inserted into the table.
So it was
when I insert the appointment, when I inserted the appointment, right? It has inserted, it has inserted the status also.
Yeah, but from where that 9 comes? It's an auto-incremented field or
Yes, it is an auto-incremented, right? The ID in the status is auto-incremented.
Now, if we are running it one more time, it will be 10 over there, and you can insert it.
Yes. When I run it, right? It is going to be 10 now. I think it should have inserted this 10 by now. Okay. So when I have inserted the appointment, I'm inserting the status also. Because Hibernate is inserting the status also because of cascade all.
Now, if we are updating what we did before, that for status 10, it will be okay, right?
Sorry, if you are updating with the status 10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have some appointments with the status 10, it works, right?
Okay.
Why does it work? Because, see, why was it failing? Because it tries to get the data of the previous thing also, right? For all the appointments, it tries to go ahead with one more level and say that this is the information, or this is the description for status. From there, we are able to get the description also. If we just get from the table, we cannot get the status description, right? If I just do a flat on an employee table, on an appointment table, I cannot get the status description, right?
Yeah, that's right.
See, if I just have an employee table, I have an appointment table. If I get it, I can only get the status ID. Yes or no? See,
status ID. Yeah, that's right, because we have foreign key over there, right?
Yes. If there is no data for it, we won't be able to get it, right? So when I change something, right, here I have changed, let's say, an employee with ID 3. This data I have modified the first name, right? So when I update it and update the persisted object and I plus the session, this is updated here, right? You see, previously it was some different value, right? So let's say if I do it one more time, right? I have just retrieved the value, and let's say I'm saying it to a different name, right? ID is equal to 3. We have seen here it's Manoj right now, right? So if you just fetch the data here, right? I just fetch the data, and in the persisted object, I'm saying the employee as session. Here, I'm getting only one employee because I'm saying where ID is equal to 3. So when I execute this, folks, here the first name is getting updated to which is in the database. See here, because after I fetch, I'm modifying some data and I flush it to the session. Right? When it says session.flush, it saves that changes, it goes to the database.
So when this is in a database, it's known as persisted or what?
Sorry?
If it's in a session, it's transient, right? When it's going to database, it's
persistent? No. When we just have an object, it's no way associated with the session. It is a transient object. But we are fetching this data from the session. It is associated with the session, right? How do we get this? From the session we are creating a query, and from the session we are getting it. So this data, when we are fetching from the database, it is associated with the session. You understand?
Okay.
It's not a transient object.
Okay. So if you're creating a new one.
Exactly. You understood. When we're creating a new object, it's a transient. When I say just using a new operator, any object, it is just an object. It's a transient object. So when we say when it is associated with a session, it is a persisted object. The exact underlying funda is when it is associated with a session. When it is associated with a session, it is persisted on.
And how about detached?
When we say session.close, there it will become a detached object.
Okay.
Session.close.
Okay.
So many of our students have given testimonials on how our training programs are. You will find them on kudzu.com and on our website h2kinfosys.com. On our website h2kinfosys.com, you will also find more detailed information on who we are, the courses that we offer, what each course covers. Also, if you're interested in a demo program, please register on our homepage on the left-hand side. Just give us more information about yourself and we will send you a link for a demo class. The demo class is absolutely free. Experience our commitment by just attending an orientation workshop at no cost. Our team of faculty and advisors are here to guide you with the right information. If you still have more questions, please feel free to call us. Call us at 770-777-1269. This is a United States number. If you're calling from the UK, call us at 020-337-17615. You can also email us at training@h2kinfosys.com or h2kinfosys@gmail.com. Thank you for watching our videos. We wish you a great career in information technology.